Well, today is a very, very special day. Well, it's also Constitution Day in America, so for those of you that are all about the Constitution, yay, Constitution Day. But there's another anniversary. 5 years ago today, a game came out on last gen, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and that game has sold a lot of copies. A few, at least 4 or 5 or 6 copies over the past 5 years. Today is the 5th anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5. That's right. And we're doing a special discuss video today, live stream. We're going to play a little Grand Theft Auto 5, not Grand Theft Auto Online. That 5-year anniversary actually is a few weeks away. It launched October 1st. This is Grand Theft Auto 5 that we're talking about today. Anyways, before we get started, let's say hello to everyone in chat. Paradise Gamer, Kane, Riley, one of our mods, Erica. Hello guys, how's it going? So, this is what's going to make today's video so interesting, this live stream, Discuss Hybrid, is that while I'm playing something interesting in Grand Theft Auto 5 story, we're going to have a discussion. And everybody in the GeauxBurns Nation will be invited to partake in the discuss via the sub chat in Discord. FYI. Cormac, one of our members, is here. He brought the cake. Yay, I'll have to pass. I'm trying to lose weight. Anyways, thanks so much to Cormac and all of our awesome members. Before we get started, Orozium, Trippy Mark, Zoa, Aaron Thomas, MyDune, my very good friend Azralynn, she stopped by yesterday. Hutch stopped by as well, and MyDune stopped by during yesterday's Mafia 2 stream. So it was awesome for them to all come by and say hello. And Azralynn actually lurked for a while. That's what she was telling me after the stream was over. And of course, thanks to Oliver King, ACG, my good friend Carrick, Killer Scorpion, Liam, Chris Pratt 79, Amy, Yuji, Outlaw, and Cormac for all being members of the GeauxBurns Nation. And let's see, we got a subscriber, Game Boy 0000. Yeah, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the GeauxBurns Nation. Going back to the members and Super Chat Heroes. Thank you so much, Super Chat Heroes in September, and members for always going above and beyond for the GeauxBurns Nation. And speaking of subscribers, we do have a few new subscribers to mention before we get going. Corey and Random Guy, along with Game Boy. Thanks for the subs. Welcome to the GeauxBurns Nation. Okay, so like I mentioned, today we are going into story mode. I have something fun planned for us to do today while we have our discuss live stream. Let's see. Yes, we're going into story mode, Romero. I'm not gonna actually play story. I already streamed story mode, the main story from start to finish. But we are going into Grand Theft Auto 5. We are gonna do something fun while we discuss Grand Theft Auto 5. So Exobrad, what's up, Exobrad? El Davo, hello, El Davo. So yeah, it's exciting. I see. Let me show you guys what we're gonna do. I printed this off from the GTA forums. I have. Oh crap. I gotta do that real quick. I've been getting copyright claims out the wazoo lately. It's freaking annoying. Okay. No music. No thanks. Goodbye, music. All right, we'll put sound effects up to... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no music. No, Mr. Franklin. Sorry, Franklin. No music today. Okay, so anyways, before we go into chat, I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do. Just gonna show you guys what my evil little plan is. I have a map. There are locations on the map. Places that we will go, Mr. Clinton and me, throughout this adventure. First, I need to go into a sub chat real quick. Let me do that. Okay, we got Red 5 Motors, we got Kane, they're here, and everyone else is welcome to join. As long as you've got good audio quality, you're welcome to join us in the sub chat. And I do have it kind of, well, you'll see. I have it like everything lined up to where it's not going to be so random. Hello, Kane. How's it going?
Right. I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Well, doing swell. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. I have a list of things we will go over. It's going to be kind of like a roundtable discussion. And chat, those of you not in the sub chat, you're welcome to chime in the chat, and I will read your comments or your chat. So yes. Anyways, so while we're doing this, we're going to go find our first location, which is not too far away. It's up in the Vinewood Hills. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was, but this is going to be fun. For some of you that don't know, there's some silliness that you can do in story mode. Not a lot of silliness, but a little bit. I think it's right here. And part of the fun is going to be finding these. I did it a long time ago. But we're going after the peyote plants. Yes, peyote plants. And Rilo Ren, what's up? And Coral, yes, we're in story mode today while we discuss. You know what? It's going to be easier for me if I put the display up. Whenever I'm recording like B-roll, I like to have it down. But anyways. So, yes, if we're in Discord, you can join the sub chat. But make sure you have good quality audio. If you do have issues, I'm going to ask you to leave. Because I do want you guys to, you know, say your piece, your 2 cents. But at the same time, you know, we got to have decent quality audio. Say, we also do the gold. I'm not going to go after all the peyotes. I'm just going to go after the peyotes that we happen to go after. So I'm not going after all of them. It's just something that we're going to be doing in the background while we have our discussion, while we have our chat regarding the 5-year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5.
5 years of this shithole.
Hey.
Oh
hey.
boy, I'm joking. All
right, no negativity. There'll be time for negativity later.
It's a lot better than the Call of Duty that came out, to be honest.
Well, a lot of people, we're not talking about Call of Duty. We're not talking about any other game. We are talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. And yes, there will be spoilers. Most of the time, whenever I like live stream or let's play a game, I do try to ask no spoilers because some people may have never played the game, whether it's new or old. Like with Mafia this past week, but today is an exception because I have to assume that most of you over the past 5 years have played have played Grand Theft Auto 5 start to finish. I'd like to assume that. All right, so I think this is where the first ones is. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay, what kind of? Oh, you know, my problem is I got used to using the Mafia control schematics, guys, and so I'm gonna have to relearn the Grand Theft Auto ones. All right, so let's get started. First off, this is where we start. The trailers. Everyone's thoughts regarding the trailers, and that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the trailers because we got to start at the beginning. When we were first teased. No, I'm not going to steal a jet. We're doing peyote stuff, okay? You want to go do that? Go do that on your own time. This is what we're doing. I'm going to do peyote stuff while we talk about discuss. It's into discussion. That's what we're doing, okay? So there. And you're going to like it. Or else.
Yeah.
All right, so anyways, let's, who's on chat? We got Kane in chat. We got Riley. Hello, Riley. Guess she's muted right now. We also have Red, so let's go ahead and start. You guys talk about, and Eldavo. See you later, Eldavo. And Samari. Hello, Samari. Okay, so let's get started while I do this. The first peyote. I found it already.
Nom nom nom.
It's over here.
Delicious.
Look, there's a pistol. Okay, so trailers. Your thoughts whenever you first saw the trailer, Kane. Then we'll go to Red. Then we'll go to Riley. Well, Riley left us, but go ahead, Kane. You have the floor while I look for the peyote.
All right. So with the first, so we're talking about the first trailer that came out in 2011.
Any of the trailers leading up, your favorite trailer, your thoughts about the trailer. Just think back to that time many years ago, like how you felt, or the first trailer you came across. Maybe you didn't watch it from the beginning. Look,
the first trailer I officially watched was like the official gameplay trailer that came out. Where it had like you know, the song "Sleepwalking" that plays in the Michael ending. And that one was definitely my favorite. But another one that'd be my favorite would be the Michael trailer because, you know, he gave us a little bit of description of Michael and all that, you know, and all that, and it had a bit of Queen playing. You know, everyone loves a bit of Queen.
Oh yeah, that was my. I would say that one was probably my favorite of the character trailers because, but I mean, I liked them all though. I liked his. I liked the way they did it for Trevor. I like each one of the trailers for the characters really did give you a quick idea what the character was going to be about. As we roam around as a boar, I'm a pig. Oink oink.
Yeah. But I gotta say, for the 2011 trailer, that one, you know, in my opinion, looking at it now, it'd be very, very different than what we would have originally thought. Because most of us would think Michael is the main character, like the main playable character. But obviously, That wasn't the case as we got to play as Franklin and Trevor later on down the road.
That's true. All right, so next, who else would like to chime in?
Okay, I'm here.
Hello, Riley. Would you like to talk about your thoughts regarding the trailer?
What trailer? Which one?
The Grand Theft Auto 5 trailers. That's what we're talking about first. Like your initial...
I don't know, because I wasn't here, remember, when I first started.
Okay. Well,
like, my first trailer ever was Smuggler's Run.
Well, that's Grand Theft Auto. We're online. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yep, I know.
Okay.
I wasn't here.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to Red. Okay, Red, your turn.
Well, I think the one I saw was in the 2011. I was in the university back in the day, and well, I was pretty excited. Well, it's a massive change in terms of graphics and besides Grand Theft Auto 4, and well, I just entering in the main city and how much Los Santos changes. In like, if you compare with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, with Grand Theft Auto 5, it's a massive change.
Yeah.
With pros and cons, but the graphics and the characters are just amazing. Just to say, well, in 2011.
It looked beautiful when the first trailer did.
Yeah, definitely.
It looked absolutely beautiful. Especially, to be honest, the next gen trailer was fucking amazing when that one came out.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoying the background stuff.
Yep.
With the boar. Let's see.
The boar, man.
Yeah. Okay, so Valwig, yeah, you can talk if your head, as long as your headset's decent quality. Oh shit, the pigs. The pigs are after the pig. No. All right, so Paradise Gamer, you're next. Your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, I'd never seen the first trailer. I did see the next gen trailer though.
Okay, that's fine. What was your thoughts regarding the next gen trailer?
I was surprised at the whole first person aspect of it, and that was one thing that actually got me hyped for the next gen. I already had an Xbox One at the time, so
yeah. Yeah, the next gen trailer. So. Yeah, I remember like how beautiful the last gen trailers were, but then whenever they came out with the next gen trailer, and I was just amazed how much. I mean, it was small things, you know, like more grass, more foliage, better draw distance. But if you play the last gen version of the game, and then you got the current gen version, you could tell a difference between the two games, especially if you went back afterwards. And you try to get back into the game on last gen. Oh, poor piggy fell again. Poor pig. He was tired.
Rip pig.
Yeah. Let's see. Snipes. I'm a pig because you know that's the boar's life choices. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, Rockstar's always been very good with their trailers. It doesn't matter what game. Like most recently, Red Dead Redemption. They're very good at putting together the theme of the trailer, giving you an idea what the game's going to be about, building up the hype and the excitement.
True.
So, it's definitely something that made me excited. Of course, I've been a Grand Theft Auto fan all my life. And, you know, I loved Grand Theft Auto 4. And whenever... No! Don't do that to the pig. How dare you? That was rude. Get up, pig. Get up.
Pick up. Get up, pig.
Okay, but anyways... It was just, like, the first time, like Kane was talking about a moment ago, the Michael trailer, because that was the first one. It was the teaser. And I remember how long of a wait it was. You said it was, what, 2011, right? Yeah, I think it was 2011 that trailer.
Yeah.
So
the first one came out in 2011. I think
yeah, I mean,
the other ones came out in 12.
Exactly. So basically, this is nothing new for Rockstar. They put out a teaser trailer to get us excited, then we have to wait 2 years till the game comes out, like with Red Dead Redemption 2. By the way, I do have a Red Dead Redemption 2 video I posted earlier today. You should have kept your name Mimulus. I liked Mimulus. Why did you change? Don't ever change. Stop changing. Stop changing.
It's bad for you.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, I think that's pretty much our thoughts regarding the trailers. Next, let's talk about the platform, because everyone probably got this game on a different platform. We'll start with Riley. Obviously, I think we all know the answer to this one, but Riley, which platform did you get Grand Theft Auto 5 on?
Atari.
Wow, the Atari. That's right.
Hey.
Yeah, PS4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, have you played through Grand Theft Auto 5 story?
Yeah, I played it all. I already completed the game.
So, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts? Now we've got to the platform. What did you enjoy about your playthrough compared to other story mode games?
I thought it was okay. I don't know. It was alright. I just wanted something to entertain myself with this. So I just played it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an alright story. Like, after completing the GTA 5, I started seeing all the other ones.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought GTA 5 story fell short. Like after playing all the other games.
Well, yeah. I mean, GTA 5 is definitely not perfect, and there are definitely people going to be always saying they like this version better than that version and whatnot. Let's see. We'll go back to Kane. Your first platform and your thoughts when you first played it.
Alright.
Kitty.
So my first platform was the PS3.
Yeah.
I played it back in the day. Back then, I made... Oh god, I don't even want to mention this, but I made cringy old videos on my channel where I tried to be funny. And obviously we already know how that went. Squeaky Kane isn't really liked by many people. But
wait, how do you call yourself again?
Edit.
Oh, back when you had a squeaker voice when you were younger.
Oh,
Yeah,
Squeaky.
I called me.
Okay.
All right, so the boar's
Kane.
dead. Rip boar. We'll go
boar.
find another aminal to be now.
Alright.
But there's several peyote plants throughout the map in Grand Theft Auto 5 stories. It's one of those fun little things you can do besides the main story.
Yeah, I never took one.
There's actually 27 to be exact, as the game just told you. All right, so let's see. Let's move on to Red, your first platform.
Well, my first platform, yeah, PlayStation 3, and I completed the game 2 times because I was a complete idiot and I killed Trevor. So
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute.
So I need to.
Yeah, we'll get.
So I need to replay the whole story again.
Yeah.
So. So well.
It's a mistake I made too the first time I played it, but we'll talk more about that in a moment.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm agree with Riley, but because I played like. Grand Theft Auto 4, the complete edition with Valorifigate Tony and the Lost and the Damned, and feel very short. 60 missions is not enough.
Yeah.
Yes, I think there's like 67 or 68 story mode missions if you include the silver endings.
Yeah, I think there's 68.
Yeah.
Poor.
Not including the
poor
side
Franklin.
mission.
I didn't know he was gonna die right there. That's sadness.
Yeah, I mean, personally,
Damn.
I'd say the story is probably one of Rockstar's, weakest stories, but I won't say it's their worst story.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ishmael.
I mean, coming off of
what's up, Ishmael?
Sorry. But I mean, coming off of the Juggernaut, that was the Grand Theft Auto 4 story.
Yeah.
I mean, in my personal opinion, there's no way you can top it. There's no way you can top it, in my personal opinion. The story was amazing for GTA 4.
Yeah.
It was
definitely.
good.
Yeah, it was a great
good.
story. All right, we're gonna switch over to. We'll switch around between Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. See, I want to get to the point where they're like in the daytime because it's looks a lot better in the daytime. That's one thing I like about Grand Theft Auto 5 is you actually can like change the clock and the time of day. Unlike in Grand Theft Auto, you're kind of forced to stick with a certain time zone.
Yeah.
Let's see, Paradise Gamer said he'd be right back, so.
I believe there's cheats in story mode to change the time in there.
Yeah, there is. I'm not gonna use the cheats. Okay, he says he's back. Okay, so Game Boy Dame, what's up? We're not talking about that. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. This is a discuss theme live stream. We're focusing specifically on Grand Theft Auto 5. This is not a random live stream where I'm just driving or playing around. We're being specific. Okay, so anyways, Paradise Gamer, you get the floor. Your turn. Tell us about the first platform you played Grand Theft Auto 5 on.
First platform was the 360. My friend had a. So whenever I went over to his house, we always played it. Took turns and all that good stuff. Did some messing around with the cheats.
Yeah. Yeah, my first platform was also the Xbox 360. And I made a similar mistake when it came to the endings. And we'll talk about the endings in a minute, our favorite endings. Which one we think is canon. We'll talk about that. But I made that mistake and I had to go back and replay that end. I went directly back into replaying it because of that. Because I didn't like the way it ended. And I wanted to go with a different ending, so you had to replay the game start to finish in order to get a different ending. Anyways, so we're inside the club because I'm going to get Trevor. The problem with Trevor is he sleeps the longest between all the characters. So that's the problem. Let's see, chat. What's chat have to say? Veiled Wig, my first platform was 360. Game Boy Dame, PS3. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of people that were here since the very beginning, and then there are those that jumped in on current gen and on PC. So it's amazing how many people have been playing this game for 5 years now. I know a lot of people play, specifically Grand Theft Auto Online, but I think it's a disservice for anyone that's picked up a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 not to actually experience the game, because it is a fun game, and the story's not perfect, but my opinion is it's fun. Like, whereas Grand Theft Auto 4 had a good story, it was very gritty, very, very dark. Yeah. And I think in a way it kind of went away from the theme of Grand Theft Auto. It's not supposed to be like Saints Row, but at the same time it's supposed to be a little bit lighter than it was in Grand Theft Auto 4. And there's definitely some dark moments. We'll talk about our favorite and least favorite moments in a minute.
Yeah, it does have its dark moments.
Yeah, like poor teddy bear right here. That was a dark moment. All right.
And it also has more
hey,
comedy
Mr. Raspberry Jam, he died a noble hero.
That's right.
I think there was like more punchlines and more, laughable scenes than actual dark humor.
Let's see, Koro. Okay, I'll talk about the endings in a minute. I'm trying to keep it kind of themed. It'll go off the rails for sure. All right, so now we're gonna move on to our favorite, least favorite stuff, and I'm gonna leave this like wide open. You can talk about one of these things or all these things, whether it's a mission in particular or a character or characters, moments that you encountered in the game that made you go like, wow, that was a cool moment, or ugh, that was kind of messed up. That was kind of weird. Or Easter eggs, for example, part of the map you like the most over other parts of the map. Maybe your favorite heist, if you don't want to go with like a mission, if you want to focus on a heist specifically. So let's see. We'll start off with Paradise. Paradise, you can go first.
All right. So least and favorite thing you're saying?
Yeah. Whatever you want to talk about here. This is like basically open to any of that stuff. You can talk about one thing that comes to your mind or several things. Just go where you want to go.
Well, I guess my favorite heist would be that last one that you do on the maze bank tower, the one where you gotta like hack and all that stuff. And
okay.
Just because it reminds me of a movie-esque type.
Okay.
Any sense, but
yeah, films like Heat and all that.
Yeah. There's definitely some homages to like popular movies or TV shows, and I definitely felt the same way regarding that scene when you look at the movie Heat and the bank heist near the end.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. All right, so Red, your turn.
Well, favorite mission or something else in a specific?
Well, anything that comes to your mind that you would like to share with the audience, with everybody.
Back in PS3, because I got the game on Christmas, so I remember playing the game the first time and just like to just go. I just see the new Feltzer. And I was completely in love with this car, and just like chase the damn thing, like to complete, in all the map, just to install it and customize it, like,
cool.
and I got in love with this car at that moment.
Yeah.
Probably my illness of benefactor cars started with that thing.
Oh, nice. See Elijah. What's up, Elijah? Bernard. Hello, Bernard. I see Amir. How's it going? Stop spamming, please. If no one cares, and you can go away. All right. So yeah. Anyways, let's see who's next. Kane's next. Okay, Kane, you have the floor.
All right. So like, basically, I can choose anything in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just anything at all.
Oh man, I am gonna be on a fucking field trip for
mods,
this bit.
mods, feel free and deal with yes. Thanks. Okay, Kane, continue.
So, I mean, for my favorite heist, it has to be the jewelry store heist because, I mean, I don't think we've really ever seen jewelry store-esque heists in a Grand Theft Auto game before. I mean, there probably has, and I might be wrong, but at least from my experience playing it, and most like every GTA from GTA 3 to GTA 5,
Yeah.
I've not seen a jewelry store heist at all, and it felt unique.
Yeah.
Mainly because it also felt fun because we were basically being peer pressured by Mike Madrazo to go do a bank heist to make some money for him, or Michael's gonna fucking die.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, I found that also pretty funny too. Probably my least favorite mission would probably be. I think it's gonna have to be the stealth entrant, like stealth entry for the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I mean. The guy that we pay a little bit of money, pay a little bit of the cut to the guy that's obviously scared to shit by us, robbing that armored truck, and I understand that's a way to bribe, but it's also taking a bit of payment away from the character's cuts at the end.
Yeah.
And I know most people don't really play story mode, but keep in mind, if you want to get 100% completion, you do have to get some of the properties, and if you want the golf club. Oh, you've got a lot of work on the stock market to do, my friend.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
There was definitely a lot of things you could do in the game that people enjoyed doing, and the the golfing was fun. The stock market was an interesting thing that they never added to online because of the reality that I think it would have been exploited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Riley, some of your thoughts, some of your favorite, least favorite things regarding Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, my favorite thing in the story mode has to be the Pelito Bay heist.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was just badass, just seeing Trevor going all out with the minigun. And least favorite, I'm gonna have to give it to the torture mission.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated that scene. It was awful.
I don't know, it was just bad.
It was.
I believe that segment of the mission is banned in Australia.
A lot of things are banned in Australia.
Yeah, that part
specifically that part of the mission.
Yeah.
And there was also another mission. I just forgot what it was.
Trevor's gonna die. No, don't die. Don't die. God
damn it! I forgot. I forgot the name of the mission where you use Franklin. It's like at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Where Stretch betrays you or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where he shoots the ball.
Yeah.
The long stretch, I think.
That mission.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, I didn't like it. It was meh.
Yeah.
And the submarine heist for Trevor, that was also terrible.
Yeah, because the submarine mechanics are not the best in the game. All right,
It's the most boring heist for both parts, and also it's pretty much a middle finger when you complete it because you're expecting a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you look
Totally
at
just return the super weapon.
Yeah, it sucked. Let's see what Chad has to say real quick.
Those are the worst ones.
Yeah. Sparing Donkeys, way to celebrate 5-year anniversary. Then they'll reach $100 million. Yeah. Let's see. Long live Grand Theft Auto 5. Archangel says that. Let's see. Erica liked the Joy Store heist. Hutch is here with some GGs. Hello, Hutch. Sedan says, here's my breakdown of Grand Theft Auto 5. Love the game. Still do. Biggest letdown was the fact they never got single player. We'll talk about single player DLC in a moment. Definitely was a great world, though, that they built for this game. Awesome map. That's still very enjoyable. And a lot of us obviously enjoy the map in Grand Theft Auto Online, but once again, we're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's see. And characters, fun customization, gameplay. Love the part where Trevor took the Merryweather jet. Oh, yeah, that was an awesome mission where he gets in a crop duster and he flies up to the cargo jet.
I don't
that's
remember that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It's the first mission you do while Trevor and Michael are in exile in Sandy Shores.
Yep.
Yeah, and Sedan also didn't like the submarine heist as well. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of memories that we all have regarding. No, sorry, I'm taking your car. So obviously, my Trevor doesn't have very good stamina because I never built up his stamina, so he drowned pretty easily there trying to get that. See, there's a peyote down there, and I failed to get it. I failed miserably.
The ocean.
Never played as Trevor. The main guy is Michael and Franklin.
It's just they have better abilities.
Yeah, I would agree that my least favorite part of Grand Theft Auto 5 was the torture scene, and I think the developers at Rockstar did that on purpose because they wanted to make. I mean, this is what I believe. I think they wanted to make a statement about it because it was pretty clear that he had nothing to do with anything. He was this innocent guy who was being discriminated against by these factions, the IAA and the FIB, and he was just caught up in the middle. And it was just it was a scene I really wish that we could have skipped in the game. But there's definitely a lot of brutal stuff that happens, like with what happens to Molly. And Molly's actually one of my more favorite characters. I know she's not very nice, but there's a part of her that I like.
Yeah, that little jet engine accident.
Yeah, that was brutal, and I don't know. It was, I guess it was meant to be funny because of the whole thing that the studio had said that, oh, Michael, it was, we don't do analog anymore. It's all digital. What she had didn't matter, and so in a way they kind of like it didn't really matter regarding her death. I mean, I realized she wasn't a very likable character, but I kind of liked her in a weird way. Of course, I've always had a thing for nerdy girls.
I mean, if she was going to be killed, she at least deserved better than being sucked into a jet engine.
Well, yeah, that was a brutal way to go. I mean, I loved it. It was a very scripted scene, but it was also really cool. But a lot of things that happened in that scene never happened in the game, like the jet engines being powerful enough to knock like vehicles back and stuff like the jet was doing as it was taking off. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm probably gonna die again. Let's see.
Yeah, but at least it was a memorable or unforgettable moment.
But definitely, I would say one of my favorite characters is still Lamar. I enjoyed Lamar. He was hilarious from start to finish. See, Sedan, Mike was my favorite character, although Franklin and Trevor are both great. Favorite car was the Albany Emperor. Favorite location on the map is Paleto Bay. Yeah, definitely. We can talk about locations right now. And, like, Paleto Bay is definitely one of my favorite parts of the map. I feel like I really wish that we had more to do in Paleto Bay as the cops chase Trevor for not doing it. Trevor's just trying to swim, cops. You have no right to discriminate. All right.
Swimming.
So I know that it's here somewhere. The problem is poor Trevor's going to run out of oxygen before we... All right. Let me get Trevor back up real quick. Hopefully we can lose the cops. Yeah, there were times when Lamar was annoying Erica, but at the same time, he was fun too. He was fun. So, your favorite location or locations on the maps? Let's see, Kane, you can go first.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of awesome places in this map. I mean, personally, my favorite location, would have to be Del Perro, like that entire area. Yeah, specifically online, I also say it's a good place as well, but mainly in story as well. It has a lot of life in story mode.
Definitely.
And the scenery as well, like, you're near a pier, there's a beach, there's a good old bit of sea. It's a really nice bit of view as well, especially if you're on a very, very big building and you're looking out there and you can see like a yacht as well. That it looks amazing. Yeah. So I gotta say, Del Perro is my favorite area of the map.
Where I happen to be right now, getting shot at by cops while trying to find a stupid Paleto peyote plant. Okay, I think we're having more luck as Franklin. Trevor has failed us too many times here. Trevor has failed us too many times. We're just gonna give up on this police. Besides, I think this is just a stingray. Anyways, it's not even a good one. So I don't even know why we're still over here. But some of my favorite locations, I'll let everyone else go again in a second. But I'm gonna go ahead and get mine out of the way. I also like Vespucci Beach. I've always had a thing for beaches, and this game looks absolutely beautiful at the beach. It still does 5 years later, especially on PC. By the way, we are on PC right now. and we're being pursued by the fuzz. They just won't let poor Trevor have a nice swim, you know. But I also liked it the first time I was on top of Mount Chiliad and overlooking the entire world from Mount Chiliad, as well as Maze Bank. Maze Bank was also a good place, but there's just something awesome about looking down upon, like, Paleto Bay, for example, how far up you were. And then, obviously, like I mentioned a moment ago, I also was a fan of Paleto Bay. Okay, so who's next? We let Kane go. Now, Riley, have you had a chance to talk about your favorite place on the map?
Yeah, it's 2 places, actually.
Okay.
Fort C and LSIA.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you're all about planes and jets.
Yes.
Of course, that's where she would want to be.
Yep,
Yeah.
just
But
just leave me in the airport.
And that's another thing to bring up real quick is the fact that, unlike in Grand Theft Auto Online, there's obviously a lot more happening in this world. The world of Grand Theft Auto 5 obviously feels way more alive because you do have big commercial jets landing and taking off at LSIA.
Yeah.
You have
You see blimps as well.
yeah,
in
you
the
see
sky.
you see blimps, you see you still see helicopters in Grand Theft Auto Online, but there's just so much more going on in this world of Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, for example, the sea life and wildlife and domestic animals like cats and dogs. So we're gonna switch to Franklin.
I wish that was in online.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it definitely feels like a lot was stripped away from Grand Theft Auto Online, I guess, in order to make it work properly.
True.
So it's unfortunate that there were some sacrifices to the world of Grand Theft Auto 5, and how sometimes it doesn't feel as alive as it could be. All right, so
Yeah.
Paradise, your favorite locations on the map?
I'm actually gonna go with Riley on this one, both LSI and Fort Zancudo, because then I love planes, and literally the main thing I did the first time I got this game was go to the airport and just grab a plane, fly it around, and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
He did the same thing as me.
Yeah, that's always been something that I've enjoyed doing in Grand Theft Auto games. I mean, it's weird because the majority of people that play Grand Theft Auto do not like flying. They don't. They hate it. But there's a few of us that actually like being in planes and helicopters and jets for reasons.
If I'm not wrong, I think the only the air vehicle you could actually fly was a helicopter in the previous games.
Well, not in San Andreas. Actually, there were jets. There were planes.
Yeah, 'cause
And-
it was the Hydra in
yeah.
San Andreas.
Yeah,
And the Hydra as well, and the Rustler warplane. But
And the Shamal.
But in Grand Theft Auto 4, it was only helicopters. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to chat really quick. Then we'll go to Red. Let's see. See, Hutch loves Vespucci Beach. Let's see, Erica. Did you ever find the ghost somewhere? Yeah. Like, that's one of the other mysteries of this game is there's a lot of stuff going on in story mode, like these random encounters, like right in front of Franklin right now. There's just all this stuff that's happening in this world. And the first time I experienced it, with police like going after other like characters, like pursuits and stuff, and not coming after me. That was always nice because most of the time the cops are coming after us in video games and they leave the other NPCs alone. Okay, Red, some of your favorite locations.
Well, my favorite locations probably are the forest near to the
Those big trees.
near to the
Yeah.
near to the this mountain, and probably the oceans, because the wildlife is simply amazing in this game. Is I think in the other game, in this era it could be a better wildlife in other titles, but it at that moment was simply amazing, and in PS4 was completely improved.
Yeah, definitely. And that, Sedan just pointed out in chat, one of the things obviously you can do in current gen and PC is switch to first person. But I'm old school. I like third person. Let's see. I was reading chat. See, why did Rockstar add Grand Theft Auto 4 cars? Well, because we're not talking about Grand Theft Auto Online. It's because this world exists in the same world as Grand Theft Auto 4. That's why you see cars from Grand Theft Auto 4 that are in Grand Theft Auto 5. That's pretty simple explanation. Marquis, welcome, Marquis. See, Hutch likes the speedometer. Bernard likes the flying. Let's see. Ryla Rin says my favorite location is the one by the big bridge in the ocean. Yeah, that is where you have the river and you have the ocean right there. That is definitely a beautiful spot. Absolutely.
Where?
Hold on. I'll steal a helicopter real quick. Once this guy lands, I'm gonna borrow his helicopter.
I think that's where you meet up at Pacific Standard Heist.
Yeah, that same bridge. See, that's what I like. So you got this big giant jet just taking off from LSIA, and you don't have that in Grand Theft Auto Online. You just don't.
I'm pretty sure a laser will take it down in an instant.
I know, but still, it's fun. No, don't, you motherfucker! I'm trying to go for a tour. See how brave he is now. Yeah, you're not so brave now. The guy has a gun pointed at you. Monster Jam, what's up, Monster Jam? Sorry about that. I'm trying to read chat. I'm trying to make this work. This disaster that's happening in the process. Okay, so where were we? We're talking about locations. And did anyone else want to add anything before we move on?
Yeah, I forgot about one location.
Okay.
You know the big bridge between Fort Zancudo and Paleto Bay where Trevor jumps off the train and he lands on the river?
Yeah.
When you go on a plane there and you just watch the scenery, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely... Yeah, there's definitely a lot of parts of this map where you have those moments. Like these various bridges we were talking about, the mountains, the ocean.
Yep.
And the forests. It's just...
Especially at sunset.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, there's definitely some beautiful scenery that happens. And that's one thing I love about open world games is the fact that you can just sit back and just get lost in that world and explore it. And I did a lot of exploring in Grand Theft Auto 5 when it first came out. And it's amazing after 5 years it still holds up pretty good. I mean,
yeah, they did a pretty good job.
By the time they get out, you know, with Grand Theft Auto 6, you know, somewhere in the 2020s, yeah, we'll look back at Grand Theft Auto 5 and be like, yeah.
Oh god, this is like
PS1 game.
But it looked good for its time, just like the Grand Theft Auto 3D games looked good for their time.
Yeah.
So but there's always that nostalgia, as the hardware improves and the technology when it comes to gaming. But yeah, Prime says, in all seriousness, I love the Mount Chiliad area. I love going to the mountains in real life. Yeah, exactly. And this offers something for everybody. For people that like bodies of water and the beach and the ocean, you got that. For people that like mountain ranges like me, you got that as well. You have wildlife in this game. You have so much to offer in this world. And it's still an amazing world to just venture around and explore.
Yep.
Let's see. Next, let's go to how many times has everybody played Grand Theft Auto from start to finish? Start with Red. How many times have you played this game from start to finish?
Oh, to start to finish, counting today?
Yeah.
Well, I lost the count. Well, because it was a lot of times. Starting in 2012. Yeah, so more than 4 years.
Okay. Cool.
So it's quite the time.
Let's see. Erica and 1930 both say they've played it 3 times. Hutch also said 3 times. Bernard 3 times. So 3 seems to be the magic number for a lot of people. Let's see. Paradise, how many times have you played this game from start to finish?
They played it like most people 3 times. Really enjoyed.
Wow, 3 is the magic number.
It is.
So, Kane, your number. What is your number? How many times have you played this game start to finish?
Oh boy. So I believe I think I've done it once on the PS3, and I had to do it a couple of times on the PS4 because I had problems with each of my consoles each time, and each time that happened, I gotta start again.
That sucks.
Back to square one basically. So I think it was either 4 or 5 times on the PS4.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care because I found it so fucking fun. And I mean, although it's not my favorite GTA story, I still found it fun to play for again.
Yeah.
Doing it 5 times again.
Wow. Let's see. Game Boy says 5. So that's a few. Riley, what? Well, I'm guessing maybe 1 time for you.
Once. Played it once, finished the story, never played it or touched it again.
Yeah. All right, so here's how many times I've played this game. I would say I've played it 4 times is my number. As we eat another peyote plant. See, I finally got to another peyote plant. Peyote. We're a bird. Look, we're a bird.
Squawk.
It's a big bird.
Now we're flying.
Okay.
We're free as a bird.
It's better than roaming the damn streets.
Yeah.
I'm a badass. I'm a badass bird.
I love the fact how they have the characters. They voice these
Okay,
parts.
well,
Like when they get transformed into various animals.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's just one of those extra things that they added to the game.
Life changes.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. Just look at the scenery.
Exactly. Now we're a bird. So I've played this game 4 times. Twice on 360. As I mentioned a moment ago, like I felt like I chose the ending. The original ending was kill Michael. I mean, kill Trevor. Because I felt, in my opinion, when I first played the game, I didn't realize that option 3 would allow all 3 to live until after the fact. And obviously afterwards, I always chose Death Wish because I think that's the canon ending. I think that that's how it is meant to end, with Michael, Trevor, and Franklin living and everyone else that gets in their way dying. And especially since they have artwork that clearly shows Michael, Trevor, and Franklin overlooking a trunk of a what was it?
Yeah.
You know, very similar to a Devin Weston's
Right.
trunk. Yeah. So I've played it 4 times, and once on Xbox One, once on PS4, once on PC. So yeah, I've enjoyed all the different times I've played it, and there's always been some funny moments because like if you like go in it like to certain scenes with certain characters whenever they meet up, you'll miss out on certain conversations that you may have gotten more information about otherwise if you would have gone in and say Trevor instead of Michael, Franklin, etc. But yeah. So anyways, favorite ending, since I just talked about ending, which one is your favorite ending and which one do you consider to be the canon ending? You guys know how I feel about it. Let's start with Kane.
All right, so my pick for favorite ending is slightly controversial, and I think I've told you this a while ago, GB. But my favorite ending personally is kill Michael. My reasons for this is because Michael is a complete scumbag. He's done fucked up stuff, and I know Trevor compared to Michael. Right? Michael's our fucking Lord and Savior compared to Trevor.
Well, each one is messed up in their own way, so yeah.
Yeah, but my opinion for choosing it is that Michael's done all this bad shit over the years. I mean, he's backstabbed, you know, his old colleagues. I mean, he got Brad killed in a bank heist, and he doesn't really show that much of regret for his actions.
Yeah.
And another reason as well why I also consider, me liking that ending personally is because if we choose to kill Trevor ending, for example, Michael is over the moon of Trevor's death. Whereas if you kill Michael, Trevor is more pissed off than he's ever been before at Franklin for killing Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, in the kill Trevor ending, Michael says, "You know what, Franklin? Let's work together and let's go kill this bastard."
Yeah.
Where in the kill Michael ending, Trevor's like, "Whoa, Franklin, what the fuck, man? This is bad. I mean, I know I've done bad shit, but come on. This is wrong. He raised you pretty much, to be like a criminal and all that."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's loyal.
I mean, Trevor, he may be one of the most fucked up characters in all of the Grand Theft Auto series, but personally, if he's that loyal, even to someone that he really, really hates, I mean, I just don't think that you should, be happy that you killed the loyal member and kept the scumbag that could possibly come across you later down the road.
Bird just died.
Well,
Rip Bird.
No. Rip Bird. Rip Big Bird.
Okay, so anyways.
But personally, I'd rather have the crazy motherfucker psychopath that's loyal alive than the semi-normal guy that has a very, 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 very colorful history of backstabbing people time and time and again.
Sure.
I mean, even Franklin, if you choose that ending, he even shows signs of bits of paranoia, thinking that it would have been inevitable, and he was basically doing him and Trevor a favor. Yeah,
there's good valid points you brought up about that. Let's see, Red, which ending do you like the most and why?
Well, I'm gonna go against Kane. I'm gonna say I killed Trevor in the first one.
Okay.
Because it's probably one of all the things I hate in a person.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I'm from South America, and I know Trevor is against the typical the typical South racist American, but sometimes just show that. And
well, technically, Trevor's a Canadian.
Yeah, technically, but sometimes just shows so much hate, so much, and so much, and those. And some of the lines are completely like I don't like some of the lines of the character. I don't like them too much. And like you can Michael is a backstabber. Yes. Michael is a complete scumbag. But he's a father, and I respect families. I respect families a lot. And like. Well, my father, if that was my father, and he could be the biggest bad thing in the world, but it's still my father, and and me as a friend or as a son, I can't judge my father. So that's why I just start hating Trevor when he just leave them. Kidnapped with those triad guys. I don't know. So I just start hating him, and even when he's going back to in the plane, I just crashed the plane like 3 times. Just because I hated the guy so much.
Okay, so that's how Red feels about Trevor. Okay, Paradise, Paradise, your ending. Which ending do you like, Paradise?
Ending. It's the third option, the Death Wish.
Okay, you want them all to live. Okay. Okay.
I just love how intense that last one is.
It was, and and for the record, that's my favorite of the 3 endings as well. Riley, which ending is your favorite? Then I'll look and see what Chad has to say.
For me, it has to be C. Death Wish, because honestly, when I was at the end of the game, I was gonna choose to kill Trevor.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I wanted Trevor and Michael to live.
Yeah.
Because Franklin was just so boring of a character.
Yeah.
Like at least Trevor's crazy, so he's kind of entertaining, and Michael has his family issues, which is kind of entertaining as well. And and Franklin. Well, besides Lamar, he has nothing when it comes to entertainment.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kill Franklin. And when I saw, because my brother came in the room, and I said, I'm going to kill Trevor because, well, I don't know. And I thought Steve was to kill Franklin.
Yeah.
But then he came and told me, no, Franklin, he lives no matter what. So he spoiled the ending.
Ah, your filthy brother.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I was gonna choose A, but now I wanted to kill Franklin, so I'm gonna choose C. No, he lives no matter what. I'm like, shit. Okay, well, I'm gonna choose C. Well, since they all live.
Yeah.
And my plan was A.
Yeah, it is interesting. I actually like Franklin. I think he's the most sane of the 2, and I think he's kind of the gel.
He's like the border. He is basically.
Yeah, he's
the buffer zone.
In my opinion, Franklin is the main character. He is the main character.
Yep.
He's the one that kind of holds it all together. But anyways, let's go to chat real quick. Let's see. Kari didn't like Franklin either. Let's see. Michael was trying to look out for his family. You're right, Eric. I mean, despite all the awful things that Michael did, and Kane did make some very good points about the justification to kill Michael in the 3 options. In the end, he was.
I mean, I agree.
No, okay.
I agree. He's still a
You made your points, Kane. You made your points. I have to read chat now.
I'm sorry. I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I'm not trying to diss what you said, Kane. You made your points, and a lot of people agree with you. But I've got chat to read.
I know, but
okay.
I know.
Okay. So, anyways, let's see those scenes. The guys get lured. Yep, the pot hallucinations. Let's see. Sedana likes Michael, but he's a shifty guy. Yeah, I mean, and that's the issue. Kari obviously feels the same way that Riley. Erica says there was originally a version where Franklin was going to be killed off. That's a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. Some people say that the possibility that you were going to replace Franklin with Lamar, which, in my opinion, Lamar is more interesting than Franklin. But there's definitely qualities.
There's a lot of evidence saying that ending was going to be thing, but apparently the voice actor of Lamar got arrested at the time, I believe.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like that because if you go by the artwork, I feel like the option was always going to be it was always going to be Franklin's choice as to whether or not they all live or Trevor or Michael die. So, yeah. Well, let's continue reading what people have to say. Hakeem says that Franklin's too generic for him. Yeah, I mean, maybe they could have done a better job with Franklin's character. Maybe they should have tweaked it a little bit more. And that could have been the fault of the writers, the writing staff. I don't know. I mean, the problem is you have so many different characters in this game. And in the end, you have to give each character some different personality tropes and arcs and storylines. And the truth is, Franklin's really doesn't matter. Like with his aunt, you obviously don't really care for his aunt, and his ex-girlfriend. I mean, she only shows up a few times in the game, anyways, and there's no real resolution there because she ends up still engaged to the doctor, and so nothing happens there with Franklin. So he just goes around working out and smoking pot all the time, and hanging out in the Vinewood Hills. I'm trying to find this stupid peyote plant.
Yeah, he was just too boring.
But like I said, I feel like once again that Kane and Red both made good points for both points of view, and there's a lot to be said how Michael on the surface seems likable, but you peel away the mask and you see what kind of scumbag he is underneath, even though he is trying to be a good guy. It's like he's trying. I mean, the fact that he's going to counseling, right? He's trying to be a better person, but it's always a struggle. And
I think there's a line he says where he says, I've always thought I was the good guy. I think he says that in the mission where he gets stroked by Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of people I think have that opinion that are criminals that do bad things. They try to justify what they do, even though they're not really justified at all. But he tries to see himself in some sort of weird, twisted way as the good guy. And the truth is, Michael isn't. The only redeeming fact is everything he's done is tried to help save his family, even though his family has issues, his wife and his kids.
Yeah.
Let's see, Elm Street. Let's see, Trevor hated the Lost. Yeah, and that's a big reason why a lot of people like Trevor, because people love Johnny from Lost and the Damned, myself included. And what happens to Johnny the first time you see Johnny again, that left a very bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, and a lot of people still hate Trevor to this day because of that. True. Because of what happened to poor Johnny.
Killing Johnny Kravitz was
Johnny.
Yeah, it was very unforgivable for a lot of people because they liked that character, just like Nico, just like Gay Tony, just like Luis. Like if there was a scene where Michael would have killed Luis, people would.
I will fucking kill that bastard.
People would not be very happy with Michael
the results
if there was a scene like this. What's up, Palpatine? How's it going? Let's see, Kari. I wish Rockstar would stop trying to make their GTA protagonists have morality. Well, I think the idea is with each of the different characters, you got a little something different. With Trevor, you got the typical I could do whatever the fuck I want in Grand Theft Auto, a lot of players would play the game. I just go around wreaking havoc, death, destruction, etc. And with Michael, he was in the gray area. He would do some bad things, but then he would also do some good things too. But then over with Franklin was more the good guy of the three. He was just, he grew up poor down in Strawberry and was just struggling along with Lamar trying to survive.
Yep.
And what he was having to do was out of necessity. And in fact, he wasn't exactly a criminal either. I mean, he was in the families.
He was just a repo dude.
Yeah, he was him and Lamar became repo guys, which in a way was kind of legit. So he was trying to make an honest buck, as honest as you could for being a repo guy. But in the end, it just came down to Franklin wanting more. And you had Michael come along, and the temptation was just, in a way, you could say that Michael did corrupt Franklin.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Snipes, what's up, Mr. Snipes? How you doing? Let's see. Continuing. Let's go to. Let's see. Story DLCs. Okay, story DLCs. A lot of you guys wanted to talk about story DLCs. Now, it was confirmed early on in Grand Theft Auto Online. In fact, there was a newswire that I remember how Rockstar was working on a story DLC. But because of the success of Grand Theft Auto Online, it sealed the fate of the story DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, in my honest opinion, I think that we could have at least still got one story DLC, even if Rockstar wanted to continue focusing on Grand Theft Auto Online, because obviously a lot of us play Grand Theft Auto Online anyways. So, the question I'm going to ask all of you is, what, if you would have had the opportunity to brainstorm a story DLC, what would it be? And I'm going to give you guys a chance to think about it, to ponder it. And I'll go first. Yay. I'm going first. All right, so what I wanted, and I think it would make sense, and because of some of the things that were in the game. The fact that you had aliens in the game. And I always felt like that maybe Rockstar was hinting at a possible alien-themed DLC similar to Undead Nightmare. It would not have anything to do with the main story. It would be an alternative reality. Aliens attack, and it's up to Michael, Trevor, and Franklin to save the day, along with Lamar and Lester and everybody else. And
Laszlo.
Yeah. So that and Laszlo has to save the day too. Laszlo's another one of my favorite characters. And found another peyote plant. Yay. Okay, so which one of you would like to go first on this one?
Raise his hand.
Okay, you go first? Okay, Riley. Ladies first.
Okay, so what I was thinking, you know how Steve Haynes, that mission where he shoots himself in the leg?
Mm-hmm.
What it could have been is like Michael drops the potion thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He just drops it by accident and just like Los Santos becomes like a zombie or alien kind of thing. People just transform. And it would just pick up from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would just be like it would be like a zombie/alien story where you're trying to find like a potion or something to just make sure it was just reality.
Oh.
And then it was the problem was that the potion actually knocked you out, and then you just wake up and nothing really happened.
Okay, so there was something happens where some sort of alternative reality happens, and whatever that thing is that Michael had, which is obviously very toxic and very dangerous, turns out to actually do something. Let's see, Kane, do you have an idea?
Well, I mean, I have a couple of ideas, but there are two ideas specifically that I would have wished Rockstar would have expanded upon.
Okay.
One idea was, this is like one of my main ideas, is, expansions, like, to go to other places, like, North Yankton. I mean, they've had all this time. We've been, playing this game for 5 years, almost. I mean, during that time, they could have at least bought a bit of time to try and fix North Yankton up a little bit, fix all the glitches and all the holes and all that, all the little falling under the map bits. I mean, hell, even if they did it for online, they could have made a heist in online, or even story mode. They go back to North Yankton to go do a heist or something.
Yeah.
Or even, hell, they could have even made Liberty City. I mean, there were a lot of rumors, I think, around 2016, 2017.
That's true, yeah.
Hey, Liberty City's coming back,
Yeah, that was a rumor.
The story mode DLC idea, like, that isn't expansion, like, Islands expansion, probably, I mean, it sounds too cliche.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are going to be like, hey, this is too cliche, man. But I would personally love to see another heist-esque, sort of DLC, but it wouldn't have Michael involved in the heists. And I know Michael, because this DLC, this would be after the story mode. This would be after the event. And I already know there's like, there are people that say, hey, Doomsday is alleged cut, story mode DLC. and there's a lot of evidence to back that claim up. There's a lot of evidence, despite my opinion on Doomsday not changing. But basically, I would have loved to seen some more heists. For example, we have a lot of fleecer banks in the game.
Yeah.
Other than the one in online that we robbed in the first heist, we don't really do anything in that. It's just like, hey, we can go inside a bank.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck we want, you know?
Yeah.
And there's also, you know, if Pacific Standard wasn't like a heist in online, could have even been a heist in story mode.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe could have been a few armored truck heists, or, you know, weapon ambushes with, you know, Franklin and Trevor and Lamar, you know, ambush and weapon deals and all that. Or drug deals and all that. I mean, another good thing they could have done is if they were to make like a drug deal heist. I mean, Trevor could have mentioned the events of Series A funding and say, hey, I did a deal with a few colleagues a few months back and it didn't go exactly to plan.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been cool to have some more references to online as well.
Yeah, that would
I think
be kinda cool.
there's only, I think there's like, there's 2 or 3 references. I know one of the main references to online is Lester mentioning that he worked with someone, but they're a bit on and off in the Drew's cutscene.
Yeah. Okay, so Red or Paradise, do you guys have a DLC idea that you'd like to share?
Well, in my scenario, one of the secondary missions of Franklin is a little street race with the guy of Los Santos Customs in the airport. I have, well, some concept of the more street racing focused DLC about just combining like all the underground racing street culture and like more cars and all the stuff, combining like the not as a sequel of MyDune Club, but having that thing, like having that spice of MyDune Club on GTA Online.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, it would be interesting to see the cars as well. Like,
yeah, I would like to race against the computer
one,
sometime.
One thing I'd like to
if
say
it wasn't online.
that does disappoint me is that originally Rockstar did add the vehicles from online to Grand Theft Auto 5 story. They did it all the way up to Ill-Gotten Gains Part 2. And then after Ill-Gotten Gains Part 2, they stopped adding those vehicles to Grand Theft Auto 5 story. And I get them not being able to add the businesses and the bunkers and all that stuff, but it still would have been cool if they would have continued adding the vehicles. I know some people were using it and taking advantage of the situation and glitching them and duping them into online from story mode. And maybe that's why Rockstar stopped doing it. We really don't know. Some people would say it was for shark cards, like Bernard just said. But I did enjoy them continuing to add content that way. They even added weapons, too. They even added weapons from those DLCs to story mode. So, yeah, that's something I
think the last weapons they added into story mode was the Lowrider DLC weapons.
No, because Lowriders came after. Lowriders came after Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1.
They added in the machete and the machine pistol into story mode. They did. You go to Ammunition and buy them.
Oh, well, we'll go look.
But they didn't add the vehicles.
All right, we'll go see if Kane's right. See, Amon, what's up? Let's see. Snake says. Let's see, chat's going by fast. So I'm sorry, chat. I'm trying to keep things organized. Boring Streamer, what's up, Boring Streamer? Black Masks, there's nothing new. It's just today's the 5th anniversary of the launch of Grand Theft Auto 5 story. It arrived on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and we're just reminiscing our thoughts, sharing our opinions about it in chat. I've been reading it, what you guys have had to say. I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned everybody. But we're just goofing off in story mode right now. I was doing a couple of peyote plants. Some I found, some I haven't been able to find. I have a map. But just transforming into various aminals. But yeah, it is sad that we didn't at least get one story DLC. I think that this game deserved at least one. Like one last hurrah for Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Unfortunately, it's most likely never going to happen. Alright, so let's see if Kane's right. Alright, so you are right. The machete was added. The machete was added.
But I've been hit pretty hard.
So these are the last 2 items that they added to Grand Theft Auto 5 story, as far as I know. The machete and the
Damn, they even
machine
added the
pistol.
home launcher, really?
No, they have the home launcher. Yeah. See, that was early on. That was early on in the game. So that was like the first festive surprise.
Yeah,
Damn
I
it.
think the first time they missed out on putting in weapons and vehicles into story mode was Heists, and then they brought them back in Railgun Games Part 1 and 2, and then
Even the
Mm,
rail
yeah.
guns,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad. You know, it's unfortunate that. I mean, there's still a lot to do in this game. And I know most people that play Grand Theft Auto 5 have moved on to other games. But at the same time, I mean, you look at Grand Theft Auto 4 and at the fact that it had 2 awesome story DLCs, Lost in the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony. And it's crazy that back then Rockstar took the time. And I think a lot of it was because Microsoft originally paid for those DLCs so they could get exclusive rights first, and then eventually Sony got them too. But yeah, I mean, especially if you look at the other game that came out in between Grand Theft Auto. Well, several games have come out to that point, like specifically Red Dead Redemption. You had another good DLC that came out, Undead Nightmare. And I guess the success of Grand Theft Auto Online ultimately is what sealed any
Story
hopes,
mode.
yeah, anything regarding Grand Theft Auto 5 story. But this was still a very enjoyable game. And there's definitely a lot of fun stuff you can do, a lot of random events, the peyotes, the alien parts, the ghost that's lurking over there somewhere by Mount Gordo. So there's a variety of things that you're able to do in this game, like the main story, obviously, as we've talked about, the side quests, the various characters you encounter. Zachary, we're just chilling. It's just a chill stream. We're not blowing anything up. Amon. Okay, we're not talking about Forza, though. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's the theme. So, chat. This is the free-for-all session where you can say anything you want about Grand Theft Auto 5. And we will start with Ken, because I'm sure he has a few additional things he would like to say. If Kane's still here.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm still here. I was like, wait, what do I need to say?
No, if there's anything else you feel like you'd like to include.
Well, I mean, one thing I would like to say is I mean, there was another thing they added in story mode, but you have to have done the entire story mode 100%. You have to have done all of it from start to finish 100%. Yeah, you have to have even done the mission where you hunt Bigfoot, and then you find out it's some bloke wearing a costume.
Yeah, that was funny, though. And that was a little Easter egg for Red Dead Redemption. So...
basically, the thing they added was, I think it was Finance Family they added it.
Yeah.
But basically, it was 5 new peyote pants where you can become Bigfoot, and I believe in the 5th one, if you do a few things while you're as the 5th, peyote plant as Bigfoot,
yeah,
you can actually find the beast from the Hunt the Beast free mode event and actually have a fight with them. On completion of the fight, you actually unlock both the Sasquatch and the Beast in Director mode.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing I actually found that out by accident when I was just stumbling around on YouTube in July 2016, just after they released the, I think it was the 770 they released in online. I think it was just after that car release. I was just mucking around, looking at story stuff. I don't know why, I was just bored. And then I saw a video from GTA Series Videos, talking about Bigfoot versus the Beast. And I was like, wait, what was this at? Was this some machinima thing? What's going on here? And then I watched it, and it was basically completely new stuff. They added in.
Yeah, I'm not ignoring chat. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm reading chat, guys. I'm reading over chat, so... But a lot of people in chat are talking about Forza, and we're not talking about Forza, so there. I mean, I liked the demo. I enjoyed playing it Saturday, but that's all I'm going to say about it. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm trying to focus here.
This is a GTA stream?
Yeah.
Gotta stay on topic.
Yeah. Go out of here.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything else they'd like to add or include?
Just quickly adding on to the Bigfoot Easter egg, I think you have to only play as Franklin to do the Easter egg. I don't know if it works for Trevor or Michael.
Yeah.
But I know it mostly works with Franklin.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that encountered the beast.
Okay.
Not beast, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But anyway, if anyone's speaking, speak.
Yeah, I thought the soundtrack for the game was good.
Yeah, it was a good.
Not
soundtrack.
not the radio stations. The radio stations were well, right. I'm talking about like when you're actually fighting someone like the cops or
Yeah,
some of the missions.
the score of the game.
The score for exactly.
Yeah.
It's great. As for the theme song when you're loading into the game, it is boring as hell. That's the only one I don't like. It's just, I mean, compared to the other ones like San Andreas and GTA 4, and just listen to those and then just hear GTA 5's. It's boring.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, Red or Paradise? You guys have something you'd like to add?
Well, complimenting the radio station, something I really like about GTA along all the games, because when the radio stations truly make some of the GTA's or Legends, just see GTA San Andreas had one of the best radio stations, KDST, and GTA and GTA 5 is Jesus. It's a massive letdown. Well, you have like the rights of Rihanna and Corona and many more, but isn't comparable. Like you have the GTA San Andreas or that masterpiece of development of Gay Tony, who was the Radio Vladivostok, who was completely just in the perfection with the party topic. Was perfect in my opinion, and this one was a massive letdown.
Yeah, it was meh. The only thing I really like about the soundtrack is Highway to the Danger Zone whenever it just comes on. That's it.
Yeah, but that was added during the Heist update though. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
I thought it was in the game.
I believe it was in the game next gen. I believe it was in when next gen came out.
No, it wasn't. It
was whenever it came out. It's my favorite song from the game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyways, let's see. I was about to say something. Oh yeah, but the radio station, because I was in radio once, a long time ago. So I've always enjoyed the radio stations in Grand Theft Auto games, and the work that Laszlo and them put behind the stations. And it's hard because each station has a different format, a different feel, a different vibe, different music, and. Sometimes they get it right, like a lot of the stations in previous Grand Theft Autos, like Chatterbox or like V-Rock on Vice City, or some of the others that you guys have mentioned. It can be hit or miss. And like some people in chats, Kari likes Space 103.2, Bernard likes Radio Mirror Park. So it definitely can be hit or miss when it comes to the radio stations.
I mean, personally, I like the Lab and Radio Mirror Park, but I mostly like the Lab because it's basically songs from the score. For example, the main theme, Welcome to Los Santos. Like, I can give that as an example. Normally, until the Lab came out, we just heard nothing. It was just, the music, and it sounded really, really good.
Yeah.
When the Lab came out, we had some lyrics to go over, and it felt, in my personal opinion, I mean, it's subjective to other people. Yeah. My personal opinion, it was fucking amazing. I mean, whether you like, people rapping about, shooting people in the hood and, flexing about money and all that, I personally love that, we actually get to hear someone, saying what the fuck's going on instead of just hearing, and, we actually get to hear more stuff, All
right.
But,
let's see, chat. Let's see, Sedan liked the Lowdown, and let's see. And Los Santos Rock Radio was another favorite. Erica liked WCTR. Let's see. Elm Street also liked Los Santos Rock Radio. Rilo Wren said Grand Theft Auto 5 story should have been Franklin only. Story about life in the hood. San Andreas. That's an interesting thought. That's something we can talk about. Let's see. Tony, what's up, Tony? How you doing? Let's see. I'm trying to see. Ron's a wacko archangel. Stay away from Ron. He has trouble. Okay, so why look for the next peyote plant? Okay, that's something I like the fact that you brought up, Rilo Wren. And anyone else, feel free to bring up some different thoughts if you guys. All right, so would Grand Theft Auto 5 be better if instead of a three character, if they would have simply focused on one and had the other two as secondary characters? Who would like to tackle that one first?
No, I think it's good with just the 3 characters. I just can't see it as Franklin only. Franklin's just too boring of a character for me to be just a single story about him.
But it would still, I mean, you'd still have Michael and Trevor. But maybe...
Yeah, but you cannot play as them.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is, I mean, playing as them just, you know, brings more to the table because you have different personalities in that character.
Mm-hmm.
If you just play as Franklin, you would just hear the same quotes all over again. And he's just bland as it is.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bring anything to me.
Okay, but here's the point that Snake's trying to bring up. It would have been a good opportunity to deepen Franklin's character because you would have had to spend more time with him. But
true.
Yeah, so
it would have given Franklin more of that character development.
Yeah,
it would have
exactly
more fleshed out. There would have been more dialogue. He would have, you know, felt more human to us instead of just a regular gangbanger from the hood.
Yeah, I could see it happening, but the fact that I just, you know, it's not gonna happen, and I already saw GTA 5 story mode as it is. It's no, just the way it is right now. I just can't imagine it, you know, with him being alone and another story.
Yeah.
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 Would it have been better? No, but it would for sure have been more interesting if it was focused on one character.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for example, you know when Michael and Franklin, when Michael and Franklin just robbed the jewelry store, they go into hiding.
Yeah.
And then later when Trevor comes out, Michael and Trevor, they're on their own.
Yeah.
So, you know when they do the Martin mission?
Yeah.
You know, that part is dedicated to them. And a bunch of missions are dedicated to Michael and Trevor.
True.
So, I don't know what they could have done, you know, to make Franklin more interesting if those missions weren't there.
Yeah.
Strangers and freaks.
Like,
They could have made it
yeah,
more
but those are just side missions. I mean, like, actual character development.
Yeah.
I mean, side missions or not, I mean, they do sort of flesh out the characters. I mean, look at GTA 4, for example. I mean, some of them side missions can flesh out Nico or Luis or, you know, Johnny and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it won't be as much as the main story, because in the main story you learn a lot more than just, you know, talking to some random dude. You know, he's probably asking for a hitchhike and all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
good point.
I mean, you will learn a little bit in there, but in a main story you learn more. I mean, Strangers and Freak missions, I believe Franklin has the most Strangers and Freaks missions, I believe. I mean, Trevor might have more, from all I know, but personally I think Franklin has the most, and because he has the most, we basically get to spend more time with him as he's interacting with random people.
Yeah.
I mean, Tanya, for example, I mean, she's an old friend of Franklin's. I mean, I believe she's one of Franklin's ex-girlfriends from high school. Because you mentioned about there was an incident at Burger Shop them two had. And Franklin,
no, they were never a thing. They were never a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only thing I saw is the paparazzi mission when GV was streaming that.
Yeah.
But that's all I saw on Franklin. Like Tanya and the other, I didn't see any of them.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
At least when I played the game and when I saw the stream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think certain sacrifices had to happen whenever Rockstar decided to go the direction of three protagonists. And unfortunately, the characters, I think, the main 3 characters do get watered down a little bit. But it does feel like Michael and Trevor got fleshed out a little bit more. And I think the idea of Franklin being anybody's son from previous Grand Theft Autos is too cliche. I don't really care for that sort of thing.
Like saying he's CJ's son, even though they're not in the same universe.
Some random theories going on in chat about Franklin. Like, CJ was his dad, or his auntie's actually his mom. That's just weird.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Yeah. CJ is another.
Yeah. So I don't know. Claude is not Tommy, and Tommy's not Claude. The character models are similar, but I mean, you look at what they had to work with back on the 3D. You know, they did the best they could. And Lincoln Clay's in a different universe, Sedan. You know that. He's in the Mafia universe, not the Grand Theft Auto universe. Yeah. I'll say one thing.
Do you think though?
One thought that I have in my head. One thing is that my hopes, whenever they did Grand Theft Auto 5, I guess harkens back to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because I was under the assumption that similar to Grand Theft Auto 5 to Grand Theft Auto 3, whereas Liberty City, it was once again Liberty City, but it was a much more updated, more realistic looking Liberty City than what we got in Grand Theft Auto 3. I made the same assumption. I think I'm not the only one that made this assumption, that we were going to get not just Los Santos, but the entire map of San Andreas. And the hope was that it was going to include, you know, San Fierro, San Francisco, as well as Las Venturas, you know, Las Vegas. So
Didn't Rockstar say they were going to do that and then they scrapped it?
no, they never said that, but it was always it was the assumption I think a lot of us had, because we thought, well, you can't have San Andreas with just Los Santos. You have to also include San Fierro and Las Venturas, but unfortunately that turned out not to be the case. So that's something that, even though I understand, I mean, this map is very detailed, and there's definitely a lot going on the map. One of my issues has always been that the towns, and I think I mentioned this in the Discuss video a few weeks ago, is that the town, or was it a rant video? One or the other.
I think it was a rant video.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One or the other.
It was
but
on Catfish on it.
Yeah, Cape Catfish. But it's like all the towns feel like there could have been more to the towns. You know?
True.
Yeah.
True.
There could have been more to them. Even though there's a lot of detail to Los Santos, there's some detail to Paleto Bay, and, well, Sandy Shores is Sandy Shores.
Yeah, Sandy Shores is just meh.
Okay, so, Red, were you going to say something? Sorry about that.
Well, I don't know about it's just only one character, and knowing how and the empty shell of how Franklin is,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Well,
Well,
right now
I think we've moved on from that. I think we're talking about
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
a part of that, not too much. Well,
Yeah. I see, Eric. It'd be wonderful to see Las Venturas again. Yeah, it's sad
Las
because
Vegas.
yeah, it would have been cool if they'd had Las Venturas. But I mean, the way I kind of try to justify it is, plenty of times they say, "See, look at that, look at that. That doesn't happen unless it's an actual player." And Grand Theft Auto Online. Something I love about Grand Theft Auto 5 is the fact that how live it is. Where you actually have the cops going after someone other than you. But I've always tried to justify this being its own thing, because they do call this Southern San Andreas. So the idea is maybe San Andreas split up. Even though technically there is two different GTA universes we're talking about. The 3D universes, which is 3, Vice City, along with San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, and then the HD universe, which includes Grand Theft Auto 4, Chinatown Wars, and Grand Theft Auto 5. So,
Okay.
but at the same time, I still kind of wish that we had Las Venturas and we had San Fierro to go to, because I think that would be fun. But maybe that was an idea. Maybe they were going to add those as expansions, and then it just never.
Maybe.
But that's
because
just
of the hardware space.
yeah. Well, and
For-
that's a good point. That's a very good point that you just brought up. The fact that there is this limitation that they reached with the 360 and the PlayStation 3, and that's one of the reasons why they say that they can no longer add content to those after ill-gotten gains. They stopped adding content to Grand Theft Auto Online. Now back on Grand Theft Auto 5, you can say the same thing.
Yeah.
But I do agree with what Kane was saying earlier. It would have been nice if we'd had other locations to go to. At the very least, it would have been nice if we could have just gone back to North Yankton just to go back to it for shits and giggles, or more specifically Ludendorff, because North Yankton's the state, whereas Ludendorff is the town. So,
True.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool if we would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
But overall,
One thing I can respond to the hardware limitation theory of, not being put in San Fierro and all that, and Las Venturas in there, is because, like, one thing I can say to kind of say is that, they could have, but they didn't, is because we have San Andreas. That map, at the time, probably, I don't know if GTA 4 beat it or not, but at the time, that was the biggest map. That was the biggest map, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it still is.
Yeah.
Possibly
Let's see.
is, but
Rodrigo Franco, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the GeauxBurns Nation.
And,
Snake, Aji misses the opportunity to get cuddly with the Ultras. Yeah, I don't want to get cuddly with the Ultras. Okay, that's another thing we can talk about before we wrap up. Okay, I'm not trying to drag this out too long. As long as if you guys have things you want to share in chat, things you would like to bring up, feel free and continue to do so. Some interesting things haven't already brought up, but Snake, thanks for bringing that up. Okay, factions. Let's talk about factions that exist in the world of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Factions?
Which ones are some of your favorite or least favorite factions that you've come across? And off the top of my head, I'll name a couple of them, like, for example, the Altruists, as well as the Lost, the Vagos, the Ballas, the Families, the Triads is another faction. Let's see. There's a few of them. There's definitely several. Like Merryweather's a faction, you could say. What were some of the more interesting factions? Which factions would you like to see fleshed out a little bit more? Maybe a bit more interaction with? Or maybe which factions annoyed the hell out of you? Like the FIB, the IAA?
I would kill the FIB and the IA. I don't like any of them. As for factions, I would have to go with the Vanilla Unicorn. Yep.
The stripper faction.
Yep. I'll go there. That's where I belong.
Everyone's favorite faction.
Yep. Just
I know there was
leave me
a
there.
Serbian mafia.
Was it?
it was...
Yeah, there was. It's just hard to find. But if you look in the game files, they do exist.
Okay. But I mean, did that ever become canon though?
Right.
Or was that just something that they ended up on the cutting room floor?
No, it's there. It's just you have to actually look.
Okay. Well, yeah, it would have been cool if they had to flesh that out. But I mean, maybe in the end they felt like they had too much stuff already.
I know the gun running has that secret government crew, like those high profile people.
Oh well, we're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 story, Tony. 5's not online. Just to clarify once again, everybody, we're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 because today is the 5-year anniversary of the launch of Grand Theft Auto 5 on 360 and PS3. The gang at the junkyard. Okay, Sedan. Several people like the families. Yeah, it's sad what happens to the families because, like, if you go, I mean, once again, there's two separate universes we're talking about here. And there have been some connections between the two universes, even though Rockstar continues to say that they're two separate universes. String theory and all that nonsense. Like in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you basically end up wrecking the Ballas with CJ.
Yeah.
And you end up taking
True.
out all the...
And the Vagos.
Yeah, and the Vagos. But in the events of Grand Theft Auto 5, which take place at least, say, 2 decades after the events of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Ballas now run everything almost, including Grove Street, which is sadness, impossible sadness.
It was home. It was home.
Yeah.
At least before I fucked everything up.
That's sad.
Yeah. Let's see, Rodrigo, I watch you a lot. Well, I appreciate you watching me. I really do. All of you watching me and taking the time to watch the content means a lot to me. And for those of you that are here today, I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Tony, anything regarding Grand Theft Auto 5 that you would like to chime in on since you haven't had a chance to do so?
Not really. It's just interesting being here in the chat.
Okay, Tony. All right, so let's see. Kari, it's sad to see how much the Mafia has been downplayed in the modern GTA games. Well, I think there's a good reason for that because of, they try to tie things in with the world that we live in. Like this is present. Well, it was present day 2013, just like Grand Theft Auto 4 was present day 2009, and like you saw the Mafia, like the Leone crime family in Grand Theft Auto 3, and also Vice City back in the 80s, because technically Vice City is a prequel to Grand Theft Auto 3, and of course you saw that mentioned in Liberty City Stories as well. In fact, it played a more prominent role in Liberty City Stories. than it did in. Well, I mean, actually, in all three it did. But with the downfall of the Italian crime family, you've seen other like families rise up. Like, for example, the Mexican cartel, which you would say is led by Martin Mendoza in Los Santos. He's the boss of the Mexican cartel in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing you would say about the Russians. The Russian mafia has risen up. So
Yeah.
it's just, I think they try to tie it into how the world is present day, not how the world used to be. Like, for example, if you go, like we were streaming Mafia 2 last week, you know, during the time period at the height of the mafia, of, you know, Italian families, the commission.
It's like 40s and 50s.
It's not like that anymore. It's changed. You know, I'm sure the Italian mob is still out there, but they're not as powerful as they.
Still chilling in Italy.
Well,
Nope.
yeah, well, yeah, but they're not as powerful as they used to be. But in Grand Theft Auto 4 Sedan, it was the Russian mob that was powerful.
Oh yeah.
The Russian mob was the power in Grand Theft Auto 4. I mean, I think there was the Italian. What was the name of the Italian family in Grand Theft Auto 4? I know there was one, but
There were 6 different ones. They
Okay.
had Jersey, which
Yeah.
was Alderney, and then they had 5 in the city.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I mean,
So they were more powerful than the Russians, but
yeah. But there's obviously different factions, but you see the shift. Whereas I would argue that maybe the reason why you don't see an Italian crime family out here, what the hell was that all about? But anyways, I think it's because it's out here in Los Santos, where you wouldn't. I mean, maybe a long time ago, there may have been influenced by the Italian mob, but not so much in the present day. Whereas you have street gangs like the Ballas, the Families, the Vagos, and then biker gangs like the Lost MC, for example, and then the Mexican cartel once again, another prime example. But I think that they would have to go back and they would have to do like a 1970s Grand Theft Auto game in order, maybe set it in Las Venturas or something. That
would be cool.
In order to have the Italians as some sort of force once again to be dealt with in a future Grand Theft Auto game. And you know what? I would like that. Okay, this is the final thing I want to talk about before we wrap up, just for fun. Is what direction would you guys like Grand Theft Auto to go? Now, the obvious point of view is Grand Theft Auto 6, and a lot of people want to go back to Vice City, myself included. It makes sense because, you know, the Roman numerals, VI, is the first letters in Vice City. But what if Rockstar decided to do what they used to do when it comes to Grand Theft Auto? Instead of going to 6, they decided to give us some prequels, or at least one prequel. What would you guys prefer? Who would like to go first?
Vice City.
Okay, well, you would like to go just continue with Grand Theft Auto 6 and just
Definitely, but
Yeah.
I want to say one quick thing on that point is that I think like if we ever went back to a more like Mafia theme, I think it would be like probably better done in like an actual like the Mafia series.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to see kind of like a 1980s like New York John Gotti kind of.
Well, yeah, but Tony, bear in mind we are talking about Grand Theft Auto, not Mafia, and I do have my thoughts about what I would like to see in a future.
I'm just
Mafia
saying
game.
that I think that's where it would be.
It would
because
make-
I don't
it would make
think
more
GTA
sense.
would ever
Yeah.
go back to
Yeah.
I know for fun, but
Yeah, I know. And I get that. I understand. And I like if you want to check it out, I do have like we have done videos about the speculation about what we would like to see in a future Mafia game, guys. If you want to go check that out, I think it's in the Mafia. It's in one of the playlists. I have several thousand playlists now. But anyone else would like to chime in about an idea for future Mafia? I mean, future Grand Theft Auto game.
I mean, I have many ideas on how they can make a somewhat good
Well,
story.
go with one.
for
You
the
can only get
game.
one, Kane.
But one main idea I have is basically go back to to one playable character. That would be the main thing I do.
Okay.
I mean,
So
I
think-
understand
yeah.
people might enjoy playing as, you know, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, but the thing is, to some people, that is a bit too much. I mean, for me, it's perfectly fine. I don't mind playing as 3 other characters, but some
Yeah.
They might not. They'd be like, "Whoa, I can play as this character in that." They don't know that they can switch back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely one of the first mistakes I made when I first played story mode because I thought I was stuck as Michael forever. I did.
Ah.
And
You thought wrong.
it does mess with some people that just has that, you know, they don't really think that properly in terms of like the character switching bit.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly I'd have one main character, just like, you know, how all other GTAs have been before, prior to 5. And if they want to have more characters in other DLC, in other possible story DLCs, that'd be a good idea as well. Maybe try and, you know, make 2 DLCs just like they did with GTA 4.
Yeah.
And personally, my main version of the story would be obviously the main character would be in Vice City, you know, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And my idea for the character would be a Hungarian immigrant that immigrated to Vice City during the Hungarian uprising of 1956.
You've really thought this through, haven't you?
Yeah, it's one of the ideas I've had. It's one of the ideas I've had for a long time. Because I'm, you know, a bit of a history buff and I like, you know, to speculate and all that.
Okay.
And instead of this, you know, guy this guy from Hungary, you know, thinking of trying to take down whatever's in charge of his own country now, he decides, you know what, fuck it. We've got a few more years before the housing crisis. Let's have some fun. Let's go do some bank heists, do some drug deals, and do all sorts of crazy shit.
Okay.
Basically,
someone should hire this man.
Live a life of a little bit more freedom.
Wow.
The guy would have more freedom than he did back then, you know. He'd have a lot more freedom.
All right, so who else has a DLC idea? Let me read chat real quick. Let's see what you guys got in chat while everyone else ponders. Let's see. Yeah, Vice City modern day. I think that's probably where we're gonna go with Grand Theft Auto 6. It just feels right. Plus, I think that Rockstar's probably heard from the community, and they probably heard plenty of people mention how they would like to go back to Vice City. It just makes sense. But then again, Rockstar does things that defy logic sometimes. It just happens.
That's just their style.
It is. It's how they roll. So, anyone else with a DLC idea?
Well,
The prequel to.
All right, Paradise. Hold on, Paradise, go first.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually see a prequel, like to Michael's story, like how he became the messed up, person he is, like, and the ending would be the North Yankton heist.
See, I don't. Unlike Red Dead Redemption, I don't think Rockstar's going to do that. I think they're going to go with a new location or a familiar location that we know about, like Vice City, and they're just going to give us new characters and maybe some cameos from Grand Theft Auto 5. Maybe all of you that hate Trevor will get, like, maybe one of the new characters will drown Trevor, at Washington Beach in Vice City. I don't know, but
I mean, didn't when Smuggler's Run came out, didn't Ron said something about Trevor that he left him?
We've already established that in the timeline video that it proves that the comeback with the canon ending is most likely Death Wish. But that's once again that's online, but in a lot of ways online does tie into Grand Theft Auto 5, especially when you have characters that appear in both.
Like Ron.
Red, did you have an idea?
Well, concerning is Vice City, the next location. Well, speculating, just trying to make like in my country, the Miami is the city to go, like, for even drug dealers, and the drug dealing in North America starts there.
Yeah.
So maybe in my thing is, well, combining things I read in a book. So making a retired drug dealer living in Miami, and like who just drag again to the thing to being a drug dealer, connecting to the Colombian mafias and even Mexican mafias, and give a little more just a bigger importance to Meriwether, and as a PMC. And
you do realize? Hold on, let me stop you real quick. You do realize that Vice City is Miami, right?
What happened?
Like, you keep saying Miami, but you do realize that Miami is Vice City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Vice City and Miami are.
Okay.
That's why I'm making the comparisons.
Okay.
So the thing is, yeah, like retired like Colombian drug dealers and all the stuff that's drag again to the underworld and just giving the antagonist the big PMC of Merryweather with better suits and better and more military stuff than the usual paramilitary thing it is today. So maybe.
I mean, there's some interesting ideas there, and I think whatever Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be, it's definitely going to tie into a lot of real life stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that's definitely something that we're going to most likely see. Okay, chat real quick. What do we got? We haven't seen Vice City since 2006. Vice City Stories, that's true.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Kari, Johnny comes back to life and beats Trevor's ass. I don't think that's going to happen, sadly. But
The ghost of Johnny.
But maybe we'll see something like that, where they know how much people hate Trevor. Maybe it's just a tradition now that, you know, a character from a previous Grand Theft Auto has to be sacrificed. Maybe it's like some sort of blood sacrifice, you know, for each.
Kill Franklin.
No, I don't think it'll be Franklin. I think Franklin. I wish you guys didn't hate Franklin so much. Franklin's all right. Jeez.
Some of my favorite parts.
It's an empty.
I don't hate.
It's a shell.
A lot of you seem to.
He's just very boring.
It's
I
just
don't really
it's an
like
empty
having
shell.
He's a chill guy who likes to hang out, get broads, and smoke weed.
He can.
I'm on
Somebody
Team
can take him.
Franklin.
It's all right. I can offer him.
He likes to work out.
Sacrifice Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor would be the obvious choice, I think. But I will talk about
What they
funny.
should have done is kill Ashley, and then
Yeah, but I'll
Yeah, they
say,
should've killed her.
yeah, I think she should have died instead because no one's ever liked her. No one's ever liked that crazed out meth biker bitch.
bitch.
And I don't even know why Johnny was still with her. I wouldn't have been. I mean, she looked even worse. Infamous,
Yep.
what's up, Infamous? You don't want another rags to riches story. Some people would like, if it's Vice City, some people would like them to bring back Tommy Vercetti. You know, that would be cool.
That
Yeah.
would be cool.
That would be.
I mean, there will be a cameo.
Yeah, maybe. But what about Michael being killed in 6? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Carly. I agree.
I don't
That'd be a good
Carly.
idea.
Yeah, because you're gonna have that debate. Which one would you rather have as the blood sacrifice? No, we're not talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. If you want to go check out Red Dead Redemption 2, I did a video earlier, Brian. Feel free and go watch it. Are you gonna jump off, GB? We'll see what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just riding a motorcycle up a mountain with Franklin. Just to prove to you guys that Franklin's a lot more fun than you guys give him credit for. He's a fun, exciting guy. You just
Watch
don't
him hit a
think-
rock and he just dies.
He's not gonna die. He's gonna live forever.
Press triangle. I mean,
No.
whatever.
No, it's not
It's a
happening.
speed boost.
No, it's not happening. Okay, so
Maybe he needs a hobby.
there was
or
another
something.
thought I had. Oh yeah, a favorite moment I wanted to bring up. I'm attempting to get to Mount Chiliad. That's the plan, if I can make it. Hopefully I will. Probably not, but we'll try. One of my favorite moments actually is with Trevor actually, and it's a moment that's based off. And some of you know about this. Back a long time ago, there was somebody on YouTube that did the Scooter Brothers thing, and Grand Theft Auto 4. And I think sadly the person that did it passed away. I think, but it became quite popular. The video it went viral back in the day. It was quite a thing. And the kid was like, he was just riding around on a scooter in Liberty City in Grand Theft Auto 4, and he just happened to run across another NPC on a scooter, and he was just riding around going, Scooter Brothers. And I guess Rockstar knew about it, and so they kind of reshot the scene with Trevor. You know, it's one of the times when you can make the transition from Michael to Trevor, or from Franklin to Trevor, and he just happens to be riding a scooter doing the same thing. And I thought that was always a very touching tribute to that. I forgot their name, and I feel bad about
Yearly
it.
Diamond. Yearly Diamond, I think his name was.
Okay, hopefully that's correct. But yeah, I always thought that was very touching that Rockstar did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was obviously a thing that people that got a good laugh out of, and it's the small things, and there's probably a few of those right in the game. A few moments in the game that you just come across like, wow, that's kind of cool, that's kind of touching, wow, interesting, you know. It's just something, you know.
We have
Yeah.
to remember Trevor's
Yeah.
secretly a hipster.
He is.
Yeah.
This is
He
true.
really is. He
Man.
denies it in the Polito base score setup. He'll
Yeah.
keep denying it to the end.
He will. And
Yep.
but that's how hipsters are, though. Hipsters will always be in denial about.
No wonder they made a fucking DLC saying they weren't hipsters.
Yeah.
It's just this game is just still 5 years later. It's amazing the amount of time and effort Rockstar put in this game. I know people criticize it. It's not Grand Theft Auto 4. Blah blah blah. Okay.
GTA 5 stat.
Okay, but still, you have to admire the hard work, and I know a lot of it was Leslie Benzies. You know, this is the last Rockstar game he was executive producer on before he left.
Yeah.
But
Didn't he get fired?
Man.
Yeah,
Brilliant,
but
man.
it wasn't just him though. I mean, it was an entire team of developers and writers and code people, and that's something we never really think about is all the people that spent long hours working on this game and all other games out there, like the new Spider-Man game, for example, or Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out in October. And that's one thing, you know, without these people that are busting their butt, you know, working the long hours, not exactly making, you know, the best money. They're probably making okay money, but they're probably working long hours and they're away from friends, away from family because they're on a schedule. They're working overtime. They're working weekends and holidays, sacrificing a lot for something they love in order to make this a reality. And while games have come and gone over the past 5 years, you know, this is still a game, obviously thanks in big part to the popularity of Grand Theft Auto Online, but by itself, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still a very, very beautiful game.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's just like we were talking about a moment ago. Moments like this, you know, the sun setting, you know, looking down at Polito Bay from Mount Chiliad, and you look all the way down there, you see cars moving, like even from this distance, and you see a bird flying by.
Yeah. You're not gonna see that in online, though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you won't. Sadly. No.
The closest thing to.
Yeah, animals are never going to be in
Biology,
online.
no.
It sucks, but there'll never be animals in online. But I think hopefully there'll be animals in Red Dead Online. They're better.
Yeah, it sucks how they added so much content, like tons of gigabytes of content, but they cannot add wildlife for some reason.
Yeah. So, anyways, those are my final thoughts. Does anyone else have final thoughts?
I love how 5 years later, people are still excited about this game. They're still following it, and
Yeah.
I think it speaks a lot how far it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those multiplayer games that it really succeeded. It's not like one of those that you just play in like 1 month and then it's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's because there's a lot of replayability to Grand Theft Auto 5. Even though
Exactly.
it sucks we didn't get a story DLC, at least one. Even if it would have been some sort of alternative thing like Aliens or something. It's sad, but at the same time, there's definitely a lot in this game, and I feel like Rockstar did kind of something that we didn't expect them to do by giving us 3 protagonists. I don't feel like that they're ever going to be able to do it again, though. I feel like that this scenario only really works on a very rare occasion. So I feel like Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever the next Grand Theft Auto game is most likely going to center around the solo protagonist again.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then again, you never know. I mean, never underestimate Rockstar. That's one thing I've come to realize. Inturbulent, hello, Inturbulent. How you doing?
It also really depends on how Red Dead 2 comes out.
Yeah. And
Because they might see some feedback of that, and it's like, maybe they didn't like this character so much, and they might go back to 2 characters. Maybe, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or you know, it's similar to Red Dead Redemption. Technically, Red Dead Redemption had 2 characters. See, Concrete Jungle, hello. And you guys, Brian. Yeah, I don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 in World War II. I don't know if that would work.
What?
I mean, I don't.
Very
I guess if you see a guy stealing half tracks or tanks in the middle of a battlefield, I guess that's the closest to
How would
GTA.
that even work?
I don't know.
What?
Random nonsense.
Yeah, GTA 5 just went back to Battlefield 5.
Well, that's something that Tony was just talking about a moment ago. Like, there's always been this part of me that would kind of like to see a Grand Theft Auto set in the 1930s, but I feel like that is Mafia's domain, and I feel like that they wouldn't be able to do it right. I mean, Rockstar could theoretically, but I don't know. I don't know. I think going forward, I think Grand Theft Auto should be set in the modern day of whatever the day happens to be, whether it's 2009 or 2013 or 2020 something or 2030 something or 2050 something. Whenever Grand Theft Auto 6 finally comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because of it's because they want to do an online game, and the thing is, like, there wouldn't be any content if they set it in a certain year. Because the thing is with GTA that I've noticed is they're focused more on the content, like vehicles in the game and things, than story things. I think story games are better for when you go back in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that theoretically, an older game, Mafia Online set in the 1920s, 1930s era, could theoretically work. Or maybe you just have it. Yeah, you could have it as like set between Mafia 2 and 3, like somewhere in the early 60s. It could work. But anyways, off topic. I apologize. See, it's the problem. We get discussing something, we just wander off the beaten path. But for the most part, I'm quite proud of myself for keeping us somewhat on topic for the most part.
Part of being.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting if GTA 6 took place in Tokyo. It's kind of like a Tokyo drift.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That
But-
would be nice.
Rip.
But sadly, all of the GTAs, except according to King GTA in London, they're all in America.
Yeah, and there has been talk that I think someone asked somebody at Rockstar years ago, would they ever consider like doing like a GTA Tokyo or South America or go back to London? And I think the response has always been that Grand Theft Auto is American satire. But
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I would not mind a Grand Theft Auto UK. I would not mind a Grand Theft Auto Japan.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see.
Yeah, but then like
Yeah.
somebody mentioned Sleeping Dogs, so you kind of have, or Yakuza, for example. So you kind of have that niche already filled to a certain extent. Now, could Rockstar theoretically do it? Yeah, of course they could do it. But I just don't know.
Yeah.
And
I would pay to see it.
Yeah. But
Because they can, but
yeah.
they won't do it, maybe.
Yeah. But I think that most likely the next Grand Theft Auto game is, like I said, it's going to be... I don't think they're ever going to do a prequel, even though I would love a prequel. Like something... Because they never tackled the 70s. They've done one in the 80s. They did one in the early 90s. They never tackled a 1970s Grand Theft Auto game. Even though that's probably where, ironically, I could see Grand Theft Auto 4 going. Like in their version of Las Vegas in the 1970s. But you could do the same thing, maybe like in Detroit with Grand Theft Auto in the 1970s with all the 70s muscle cars, disco era. I don't know. It's just an idea. But that's
Maybe.
the fun thing about speculating in ideas. Yeah. Table tennis. So you guys rather have table tennis too, or yeah, Bully 2 I think is the more realistic one that a lot of people would love to have. I would definitely... I would be willing to wait. I would be willing to wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 if we could get a Bully 2. I mean, no, it wouldn't be as big as, say, Grand Theft Auto, but it doesn't have to be big. It's about quality over quantity. So I would love a Bully 2. Table tennis 2, probably not. Table tennis 2. I don't know. I think they could theoretically just do a. Like I said, the map doesn't have to be as big. It just has to be good. You know. It just has to have a lot to it, similar to the original Bully. But like I said, I would love a Bully 2 before a Grand Theft Auto 6. And maybe they're working on one. That's one of the rumors, but that's just a rumor. You can't confirm it one way or the other. So anyways, before we wrap up, we did get a new subscriber, Seam Wilson. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thanks for the sub. Final thoughts from anybody before we go. One last call for alcohol, or any other beverage you have. I'm drinking tea.
All right.
So,
all right.
Go for it.
I'm drinking Pepsi. So
drinking Coke.
I gotta say, personally, this game is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful GTAs out there.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I wish it had some of the physics from GTA 4 back, like parkour and all that, where you can climb on like little side parts of roofs and all that, or if your character gets caught in the rain, you can try and get a bit of the rain off of him and all that, try and shrug his shoulders and all that.
Yeah.
I personally wish some of that stuff would have returned, but hey ho, we can't have everything in this world.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I did like to be able. I liked being able to pick up like coffee and a brick with Nico and walk up to somebody and just chunk a brick at someone. That was always funny for some reason. I don't know why. I just found that shit to be hilarious. I wish we could do that, but yeah.
I mean, personally, this is probably one of Rockstar's best games, but also, in my opinion, it's one of their weakest games as well. It's more of a mixed bag for me. I mean, I don't hate it, I don't love it. It's just really there for me personally. I mean, it's a very, very good looking game in my personal opinion, but it's just really there for me, and it's like, you know, it's like, that was fun. I guess they can't all be winners, you know. It's that kind of feeling for me, where if it's a game like GTA 4, for example, it's like, oh man, that was fucking intense. That was crazy, you know. We're super duper crazy, guys.
Well, I mean, there's always gonna be things that you liked in the previous game that you wish they would have added to this game, and that's probably gonna be the same thing in Grand Theft Auto 6. You know, that there'll be things that we wish that were in Grand Theft Auto 5 that we may not get in Grand Theft Auto 6, but you know, it's the future. We don't know. And let's see what did Concrete say. Year 2438, and Grand Theft Auto 6 still wasn't out.
Maybe.
The running joke, right? The running joke that the world will come to an end and we'll never get Grand Theft Auto 6 at this rate.
Yeah.
No.
Because
what I would like is just surviving a grenade or an RPG, like in GTA 4.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Well,
because you just die to everything in this game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's kind of realistic, you know, in a way.
Or at least falling, you know, when you fall off a mountain, your character doesn't even puts the effort on standing up. You just keep falling down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way the game's made. I think it's just I would like one of the things for them to work on is better parkouring, like Kane was talking about a moment ago. And apparently, with Red Dead Redemption 2, we're gonna have better melee and hand-to-hand combat, which is also another issue.
I wonder how that's gonna work in online.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be okay. I guess we'll find out. But anyways, that's another topic for another time.
Yep.
In the future.
Or in the past.
Well, yeah. Depending on your point of view on that. But, yeah. But Rockstar does like to take their sweet time on making video games, and knowing them, it'll probably be a few years before we even get a teaser for Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah. All right, so anyone else, did anyone else have anything final to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'll say one more thing.
Okay, Tony?
I just want to say that I think GTA might be somewhat different now that Leslie Benzies isn't the producer anymore. Maybe like the next story or the next game is probably going to be changed.
Yeah.
But the other thing I just wanted to point out, which is very quick, is that I think the issue with the current game is that maybe they're focusing too big and they're kind of like shoving out more ideas. Because I'd like to see like Rockstar focus on the next GTA as like, because they think of it as a big game.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see them remaster, like you said, Bully 2, like do more little stuff, like remaster Vice City as like maybe a different game. Do more like little GTAs and then have the main one. Because GTA's gotten to the point where it's like $1 billion game now. It's like massive.
Well, I fear that there's no way. I don't think there's any way back though. I fear that they're just going to keep going this direction.
Yeah.
For as long as they continue making them. Yeah. It's amazing the detail of still. Like 5 years later, look at this garbage can, and look at this magazine, this newspaper with Johnny's face on it, burger shot, all this debris. It's just amazing.
Look at this garbage can.
It's amazing though. I mean, I know it's something you don't even think, but this is what Rockstar does. Their attention to detail, and that's why one of the reasons why they're so successful. And I think that we're really going to see what they can do in a post Leslie Benzies era with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes, and like you were talking about, Tony, what the future Grand Theft Auto game will be. Paradise wanted to say something as well. What did you want to say, Paradise?
I think that going forward, it would be hard to top what Rockstar did with Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, not sell-wise, but like quality-wise.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they got.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone else? Riley, did you have anything?
Yeah. I just hope they don't get, like, they don't waste all their ideas on GTA 5.
6.
Like, oh, no, I don't hope they don't waste all their ideas on GTA 5, and then when they bring it all to GTA 6, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Wait, this is what we had in GTA 5. This is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's just in like a newer location, or it works the, you know, same mechanics. And I just hope they don't waste all their ideas on GTA 5. And just when we get GTA 6, it's just GTA 5 with a new location.
Well, I think Rockstar, if you look at their track record, they do a pretty good job at changing things and tweaking things, and sometimes improving it, sometimes leaving things out. And each Grand Theft Auto brings something different to the table, and I think that a future Grand Theft Auto game will be no exception.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I believe so. And they even, I think I read an article years ago where when it comes to like ideas for like future Grand Theft Auto games, I think the rumor is they have like tons of ideas and characters and places they want to go and storylines. So I think that they've probably had plenty of time to have a vault of ideas that they've stored away. The only problem is Rockstar takes their sweet time making video games, so they'll never get to truly realize any of those ideas. just a few here and there, but I think that's the way I think we would prefer Rockstar, because if they try to be like other developers that are trying to rush out a new game every year and be like Ubisoft, then do we really want that? I don't want that. I don't want a Grand Theft Auto every year, because
it'd be like Call of Duty, rushed mess.
You would start to see the game deteriorate, because it would basically be the same game, just a different map, and the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and that's something.
That's pretty much what COD is.
And that's something I hope that we never see transpire when it comes to Rockstar. But you never know. Shit does happen. Things change, and a lot of times, not for the better.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this was a fun journey to be on over the past 5 years. This game.
Yeah.
And
for me, it's over the past 1 year.
Yeah. For you, yeah. But I'm definitely looking forward to Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it's going to be beautiful. It already looks beautiful. I mean, by the way, I did post a Red Dead Redemption 2 video earlier today for you guys to go check out. Frontier Town Cities. If you guys are interested in Red Dead Redemption 2, be sure and check it out. Jason, thanks for stopping by. And Riley, Kane, Paradise Gamer. Tankijan Jr. was also here. He was just listening. Tony, guys, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
No problem.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it for now. I'll read over chat real quick if you guys have anything else to say before we wrap this thing up. Any final thoughts, chat? Besides nonsense? Let's see. Infamous, I hope your channel blows up even more when Red Dead Redemption 2 releases. Well, only time will tell. I keep doing what I do. It would be nice, you know. It would be nice. Don't you talk about my sweet Rainbow Six Siege creators, Ubisoft, like that. I think Ubisoft is trying to do better, but unfortunately, you know, they still, I don't know. There are things that they do I like. There's things they're worse developers and publishers out there, but, you know. But anyways, I mean, that's the cool thing about video games. There's a lot of awesome games out there. There definitely are. It's okay, Tank. Don't worry about it. But yeah. So yeah, 5th year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5. Hard to believe 5 years ago today is when it came out for 360, PlayStation 3. And since then it's been ported over to current gen, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, which is what I'm playing it on right now. Amazing how far this game has come. And there's no question that Grand Theft Auto Online helped the success of this game. I know a lot of people don't want to admit that, but that's the truth. I still think the game would have sold well, but I think the numbers would probably been more the same of like Grand Theft Auto 4 numbers, sale-wise, if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, Rockstar did take the time to build both an online and a single-player game. But at the same time, it does suck that we didn't get at least one story DLC. It would have been nice. Whatever it was, whether it was aliens or a continuation of Michael, Trevor, and Franklin's story, or if they would have gone with like separate characters like Lamar or Paige or Eddie Toe. That would have been kind of cool if they would have gone with 3 different characters. That would have been fascinating. But alas, unfortunately, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 was the victim of Grand Theft Auto Online success at the end of the day. So, still a beautiful game, though. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this show up. I thank you so much for being here, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this Discuss live stream special. It went off the trails a little bit. I tried to keep it organized. Hopefully it was worth your time watching. And I hope everybody that was involved in the discussion had a good time as well. And I tried my best to give everybody the opportunity to share their thoughts, their views, opinions. And we had some interesting discussions, I think, regarding Grand Theft Auto 5. Erica, Tankage Jr., Riley. Riley, thank you for being part of the chat and being one of our mods today. Archangel, thank you for being Archangel. Kari, thank you. And I did enjoy reading the chat, guys. And I love the fact that you guys are interacting with each other in chat. You guys are having your own discussions while we were having our discussions. And so I wasn't ignoring anybody chat. I was reading your chat, even though sometimes you guys were posting some random nonsense, which is to be expected. Akeem, thanks for being here as well and for modding, as always. Concrete Jungle Blackbeard, thank you for being here as well. Who else was here before we wrap this thing up? I like to say goodbye to everybody that took the time to be here with us from start to finish. And, yeah, I enjoyed doing this. It was different. Dr. Cheats, thanks for being here. Hello to you. I know you're here at the very end, but hello. Thank you so much to our awesome members, as well as our Super Chat heroes. You guys go above and beyond the GeauxBurns for the GeauxBurns Nation. And Rilo Wren, thank you for being here as well. Oh, yeah, our new subscribers. Let's thank our subscribers. So over the past day, we had a couple new subscribers. Random Guy, Game Boy, Rodrigo, Haysham Wilson. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing your name, but thank you for the subs. Welcome to the GeauxBurns Nation. And it was something a little different we did today. And I thought it would be fitting because today was the 5-year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto Online. So that's why we did this a little differently. But like, once again, thank you to our awesome subscribers. Thank you to the members. Thank you to the Super Chat heroes. All of you going above and beyond for the GeauxBurns Nation, as always. And if you're new to the channel, we are going to continue covering Grand Theft Auto Online. There'll probably be a new event week tomorrow, which I will go over. Maybe a new adversary mode. We may do some adversary mode live streams if there's a new one. There's supposed to be. So we'll check that out. And I will jump around from PS4 one day, Xbox One another day, PC another day, regarding a hypothetical new adversary mode that we may get tomorrow. Along with the usual discounts and unlockables and whatnot. And if there's any new Red Dead Redemption 2 information that comes out this week, I will cover that as well. And as I mentioned, there was information that dropped today regarding the frontier, towns, and cities, some of them that we can expect to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. Feel free and go check out that video now. Go do it. Do it now! Well, do it after I say goodbye, right? Paradise, yeah, it'll probably be another remix adversary mode. I think there's 2 more remix adversary modes that we have yet to get. So that's probably what's going to happen tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be a decent one, but only time will tell. So anyways, I covered Grand Theft Auto Online along with Red Dead Redemption 2. And we have some other stuff we're going to be live streaming over the next few weeks. We're going to stream Mafia 3 in a few weeks around the 2-year anniversary of the launch of Mafia 3. And then after that, we're going to stream Red Dead Redemption. And that's going to probably lead us up to the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2, which I will be streaming as well. And I'm going to be diving all the way into Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online coming in October and November. So if you're into any of those games, you're welcome to subscribe, join the GeauxBurns Nation, and to be notified about future live streams and content, ding the bell. It works sometimes. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. You can also be notified via Twitter and Facebook. We have an Instagram. We have a vlogs channel. Every 2 weeks I post a new vlog over on the vlogs channel. So if you're into vlogs, feel free and check it out. And, of course, got to mention this, our awesome, growing, thriving Discord community. All the links to the GeauxBurns Nation below in the description section. I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to seeing what the event week tomorrow is going to be. Hopefully it'll be better than the last one was. The last event week in Grand Theft Auto Online hasn't been so good, no. Maybe there'll be some real double money opportunities besides adversary modes, right? Right. And hopefully maybe we'll finally get the new gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. So hopefully it's going to be a fun week. Hopefully. Anyways, as always, have a great week, everybody. And from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you, as always, thanks for watching.